AI is totally changing the game at work, right? It promises these amazing boosts in productivity, helping us crunch complex data, write emails, and just get stuff done way faster than we ever could before. It kind of feels like a superpower. But you know what they say? With great power comes great risk. Let's dig into what that really means.
Okay, so picture this. An employee is on a super tight deadline. They've got to summarize this massive, dense report. So what do? They pop open a public AI tool, maybe something like ChatGPT, paste in all that company data, and bam, they get a perfect summary in seconds. They just saved hours of work. It's smart, it's efficient, and trust me, it is happening all over the place.
But here's the thing. What if that simple, totally innocent shortcut has a hidden cost? A cost that could actually put the entire company in jeopardy.
And that's exactly where we step into the world of ShadowAI. What looks like just a handy tool on the surface, well, it can cast a very long, very dark shadow.
So what is ShadowAI anyway? To put it simply, it's when employees use any AI tool without the thumbs up from the IT or security folks. Think of it as unsanctioned, unmonitored, and completely off the radar of the very people trying to keep the company safe.
Now, you've probably heard of Shadow IT, using your personal cloud storage or a messaging app that the company hasn't approved. Well, ShadowAI is like a much, much more powerful version of that. See, with Shadow IT, you might store a file in the wrong spot, but with ShadowAI, these tools don't just store your data, they process it, they learn from it, and they can spit it back out in totally unexpected ways.
And just how common is this? Get ready for this. A recent study found that a staggering 77% of employees admit to pasting company data into external AI tools. Just let that sink in for a second. That's more than 3 out of every 4 people, potentially feeding sensitive, confidential info directly into systems their company has zero control over.
Okay, so we know what it is, but the really important question is, why is this exploding right now? What's fueling this hidden revolution in the workplace?
Well, it's really a perfect storm of a few things. First, digital transformation is pushing everyone to work faster. Then you have these incredibly powerful AI tools that are often free and literally just a click away. Add to that the huge pressure on employees to be efficient and innovative, often at companies where IT just hasn't provided any approved alternatives. People are just trying to do their jobs better,
And the speed of this whole thing is just wild. In 2023, about 74% of employees were using generative AI at work. Just 1 year later, that number skyrocketed to 96%. This isn't some slow-moving trend. It's a full-on revolution, and most of it is happening completely under the radar.
But with this hidden revolution comes some pretty big hidden risks. And this is where the story takes a more serious turn, because the fallout from uncontrolled AI use can be absolutely massive. Think of it like this. Every time an employee uses one of these unapproved AI tools, they're essentially opening a backdoor into the company's secure network, a door that hackers, competitors, and even regulators are more than happy to just walk right through.
These threats really break down into 4 big buckets. First, you've got data breaches, plain and simple. Your secret sauce is now sitting on some server you've never even heard of. Second, you have huge legal risks, like violating privacy laws like GDPR. Third, you've got operational chaos, when these untested tools just get things wrong. And finally, there's the reputational damage, which can be the hardest to recover from.
Let's make this real for a second. In one case, a marketing team at a huge retail company used a public AI tool to analyze customer data. In doing that, they uploaded a ton of sensitive info to an external cloud, which was a direct violation of GDPR and put the company on the hook for some massive fines.
And here's another one. A junior financial analyst, just trying to be proactive, right? Used an unapproved AI model to help with investment forecasts. But there was a flaw in the model, and it led to bad predictions, which not only cost the company money, but really damaged their relationships with clients. So yeah, these are not just hypothetical situations.
All right, so the problem is clear, and the stakes are super high. But the goal here isn't to just ban AI and kill all that amazing innovation. It's about bringing that innovation out of the shadows and into the light, where you can actually manage it safely.
So how do we do that? It really starts with a clear 5-step plan. First, you've got to have a formal policy. Spell out what's allowed and what's not. Second, you need monitoring tools because you can't manage what you can't see. Third, and this one is so important, you have to provide safe, company-approved alternatives. If you don't give people good tools, they're going to find their own. Fourth, you need training. Teach your teams about the risks. And finally, everybody's got to be on the same page.
IT, security, business leaders, the whole shebang.
And when you follow a path like this, you move the whole conversation away from fear and toward a future where you can actually have secure and empowered innovation.
The end game here isn't to build these giant walls to keep AI out. No way. It's about building a smart, secure framework that lets the incredible power of AI flow through the organization safely, connecting everyone without punching a bunch of holes in your security.
And that really brings us to the key takeaway. The debate about if we should use AI is over. It's here. The really critical question every single business needs to be asking right now is how. How do we grab onto this amazing power while still protecting our most important assets?
And let's be real. As this quote points out, you're probably never going to get rid of shadow AI completely. The goal is to manage it, not to magically make it disappear. With the right rules and the right culture, you can absolutely create a workplace that is both incredibly innovative and incredibly secure.
So we'll leave you with this one final question. Just think about your own workplace for a minute. Is your company's innovation happening out in the open as part of a smart, secure strategy? Or is it happening in the shadows,